Okay, Show Me a Sign, Chapter 27 by Anne Claire Lizotte. I don't know how I don't know that by now. I must have fallen into a leaden sleep because Miss Top has already drawn the drapes and left a tray with porridge and syrup by the time I awake. I cross the room and I peer anxiously out the window. No one looks up at me. Perhaps I only dreamt the man. Desperate for some way out of here, I turn over every object in the room. Most of them are elegant but useless. I find the cameo and cradle it in my hands. I wonder what the girl's name was. Did she live only to the age in the picture? Does her body lie under the snowy hills or in a family plot far away? Why was I never brave enough to visit George's grave? When I feel the door rattle, I quickly stow the cameo back in the drawer. Miss Top has come for my breakfast tray. This time she stays, and she prompts me to sign by repeating the words that she's memorized and then pointing at me. I attempt to expand her repertoire, to make her see the gravity of my situation, by signing slow and exaggerated. Again, I make the sign for writing, with raised eyebrows, asking for pen and paper. Once again, she shakes her head. This time it occurs to me that she may be illiterate. That means that she doesn't know how to read or write. That's what illiterate means. Or has Andrew forbidden her to give me anything but food? We create a game where I point to things in the room and I make the signs. She catches on quickly. Soon I'm running back and forth between the objects, and she's making the signs. We exchange roles so that she can point and then I sign. Then I string words together. I combine bed for my vineyard home with rain outside the window, while rocking on my feet and holding my breath and clutching my stomach as if I'm about to be sick. I'm trying to indicate my passage on the Defiance. The Defiance, just a reminder, is the name of the boat, of Andrew's boat. Miss Top looks delighted by my performance. I collapse on the floor. How will we ever understand each other? The bell must call her away again because she waves goodbye and vanishes behind the door. I notice that she doesn't rattle the handle. Has she been careless, or is his trust in me growing? Do I dare cross the threshold? Out the window, I see Andrew walk away from the house. He has a steady stride, and his shoulders are bunched up, just as he looked on the beach my last day in the vineyard. His discontent worries me. If Dr. Minot is not supportive of his theories, Andrew may take me elsewhere. This is my chance. I don't feel any movements or vibrations in the house. Quietly, I creep downstairs to the front door. It's locked. I rattle the handle. I try to poke my smallest finger into the keyhole. I pray, "My Lord, open the door so I can flee and be brought to safety like Moses and the bulrushes." But it doesn't budge. I tiptoe to Dr. Minot's office. Thankfully, he's not there. Miss Top is nowhere to be seen either. I sift through the massive piles of papers on Dr. Minot's desk. It is untidier than I remember from my first night in the house. I recognize Andrew's writing on several letters. So now these are Andrew's letters, okay? "I was careful to fish in the next town over and barely took a bite when I was invited for dinner to one of their island hovels, lest I be infected with the deafening element." I set down the paper feeling sickened. That's when I see, on a table in the middle of the room, George's geography book. I open it and I find the map of memories still tucked safely inside. Each pen stroke is as familiar to me as the lines in my hand. Distinctly George's creation and drawn with such love. I clutch it to my heart, feeling tears prickle behind my eyes before I tuck it into the bodice of my frock. In a leather-bound notebook, I see the words, "The girl is in good health." I read on. "I find no strange marks or deformity of her body. Her ears and tongue look as normal as those that can hear and speak. Her vocal cords feel no different, and her skull is of normal size. We have the deaf and dumb in Boston, of course. They aren't easy to find. The few that I've encountered are quite dull. What interests me of this young girl is that she seems otherwise perfectly normal. She looks sullen, but not moronic. When she first came to us, she was in such a wretched state, practically an urchin that I was reluctant to share my beloved Amy's belongings with her. I have kept them so long and so well. Amy must be the name of the girl who had that bedroom. I remember the handkerchief concealing the cameo. It was embroidered with the letters A.M. Amy Minot. My clothes and the other objects in the room must have been hers. I get the feeling I'm being watched. I turn around, but no one's in the room. I continue reading. I wonder what kind of arrangement Andrew has made with her parents. He told me that the mother was hospitable enough. The poor woman lost her son in a horse cart accident. He said her grief made her daughter's upkeep too hard and too big of a burden to bear. He said she was pleased to hear that she may come to some use in scientific inquiry. Upkeep? I know I wasn't as useful as I might have been, but I was never a derelict. Whatever tensions came between me and Mama, I know she never thought me to be useless. So I continue reading. But I fear that I've come to possess a few doubts about Andrew's story. He told me that the deaf and dumb of Martha's Vineyard are congenital idiots, unintelligent and unlearned. Yet he just showed me a comprehensive genealogy created by a deaf and dumb seaman. How could an idiot create such a thing? I wonder what other questionable conclusions he's drawn about the mistruths that he has told me. That's right, we better get on to Andrew. Once again, I feel something. I face the door to the office, but see no one. Slowly, I turn to look out the window, and the hair on the back of my neck tingles. There is someone. He's wearing a Monmouth cap, and he's looking at me from the street. I pull back from the pain. I can't help but look again. He's still there. His cap is pulled down over his brow and his ears. I haven't seen one of those since I left the vineyard. Have my prayers been answered? I look again, and dare I raise my hand to wave? The man does the same. Just then, I feel something on my shoulders. I jump, and a startled sound flies from me. I look up to the face of Dr. Minot, who's gazing at his journal in my hand. Spinning around, I slip from his hold, drop the journal, and run upstairs without looking back. I close the bedroom door and sink to the floor. My face is hot with unshed tears. I rock back and forth, clutching the map.